On the morning of August 5, 2021, a Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II suddenly took off from the modest local Michigan State Highway M32 in the state's Lower Peninsula. Several more Thunderbolts followed, and then came the C146A Wolfhounds. The highway had now become an aircraft runway. The unusual sighting, captured on several videos, was actually part of a training exercise to oversee how pilots can work without the support of a nearby base in the case of conflict. The United States Armed Forces are frequently tested with different combat operations and scenarios to keep them fresh and ready to answer the call of duty at any time and anywhere in the world. It was said that this U.S. Air Force exercise became the first time in history that their aircraft intentionally landed on a civilian roadway within the United States. And after the ordeal was over, even the Michigan State Police joked with the media that, quote, no speeding citations were issued during the exercise. Northern Strike. In July of 2021, the Michigan National Guard, the Michigan Department of Transportation, and other partners announced that a portion of the Michigan State Highway M32 near Alpena would be closed off for 5 hours early the next month. The reason behind the unexpected closure was to test the National Guard pilots' abilities to land military aircraft on highways designed for cars and trucks. For the first time in recent history, the United States Air Force was going to land some of its aircraft on American highways for a one-of-a-kind exercise. The 127th Wing of the Michigan Air National Guard, the Air Force's 355th Wing, the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base from Arizona, and the Air Force Special Operations Command announced they would land 2 C-146 and 4 A-10 aircraft. The aircraft were going to take part in road landing drills to demonstrate how active duty and reserve units could integrate to Project Combat Air Power in austere environments. According to the Michigan National Guard, the drills were part of Exercise Northern Strike, a multinational large-scale military training event hosted by them. The organization also described Northern Strike as a, quote, National Guard Bureau-sponsored, joint accredited exercise that is a tailorable, scalable, and cost-effective readiness producer. At the collective training level, Northern Strike maintains, improves, or exceeds directed training by providing a venue for units to minimize variances and achieve training proficiency, and reduce or validate post-mobilization training requirements. This system of training areas is the premier location to replicate the future operating environment, offering integrated training across all domains. State Highway M32 was chosen for its proximity to the Alpena Combat Readiness Training Center, where naval, ground, and air training is conducted in an area covering over 17,000 square miles. U.S. Air Force Colonel James Rossi, the commander of the Alpena Training Center, said to the media, quote, this is believed to be the first time in history that modern Air Force aircraft have intentionally landed on a civilian roadway on U.S. soil. Our efforts are focused on our ability to train the warfighter in any environment across the continuum, so our nation can compete, deter, and win today and tomorrow. Agile combat employment. The exercise on August 5th specifically focused on 2 types of aircraft, the A-10C Thunderbolt II and the C146A. The C146A Wolfhound is a twin-engine, high-wing aircraft equipped with a cabin that can be modified for several cargo combinations, basically a militarized Dornier DO-358 that can carry up to 27 personnel and 6,000 pounds of cargo. Although not much is known about the aircraft, it can operate from austere locations and is used to discreetly deploy Special Forces teams around the world. The Air Force has said that the Wolfhound's primary mission is to, quote, provide U.S. Special Operations Command flexible and responsive operational movement of small teams and cargo in support of theater Special Operations Commands. Airlift missions are conducted by Air Force Special Operations Command aircrews to prepared and semi-prepared airfields around the world. As for the A-10C, it was chosen for this rural highway test because it's the first U.S. Air Force aircraft specifically designed for close air support of ground forces and as a quick response aircraft during the Cold War era. It's also optimized for short takeoffs and landings. The landing gear of the A-10 comprises low-pressure tires that can operate from rougher surfaces besides highways. In addition, Thunderbolts offer excellent maneuverability at low airspeeds and altitude while maintaining a highly accurate weapons delivery platform. This aircraft can operate under 1,000-foot ceilings with 1.5-mile visibility. Pilots can also conduct operations under pitch-black darkness without any issues using night vision goggles. Equipped with precision-guided missiles, A-10s are known to be genuinely lethal aircraft that can handle themselves in any type of weather or combat scenario. Furthermore, Thunderbolts are enhanced by their excellent structural sections that can survive direct hits from armor-piercing and explosive projectiles up to 23 millimeters thick. This Cold War-era aircraft has stood the test of time and has fulfilled its objective of taking off from austere locations to enhance NATO's quick air response operations. In June of 2018, several A-10s from the Michigan National Guard 127th Wing 107th Fighting Squadron went to Estonia as part of the multinational Sabre Strike exercise. During the effort, which simulated a cyber attack on a friendly forward operations center, the A-10s performed several highway landings without problems. Although no information was given as to how the A-10s and Wolfhounds will operate together, rumor has it that the C146s will be used to deliver maintenance personnel for the A-10s or serve as tankers for setting up refueling points. Highway aircraft. The takeoff and landing exercises captured in the videos align with the U.S. Air Force's Agile Combat Employment, or ACE, a concept designed by the Air Force to force its aircraft to operate far from its support bases. Some of these exercises also include teaching pilots how to refuel aircraft rapidly when they are miles away from airfields, or how to conduct an emergency landing when there are no appropriate runways. Air Force Colonel Jared Hutchinson, commander of the 35th Operations Group at Misawa Air Base in Japan, said that ACE is, quote, a warfighting concept that the Pacific Air Forces is trying to operationalize. The basic concept behind it is that we use our agility to disperse our main operating bases. Then we execute in a decentralized or more autonomous manner, which allows us to be much more resilient in a contested environment. The tensions in Asia and the Pacific are the focal point of this new warfighting concept for the US military in the region, and pilots must learn how to handle themselves in areas with no friendly bases where they can safely land and resupply. However, even though the footage shows the National Guard's A-10s getting ready to take off from Michigan State Highway M32, this is not the first time an aircraft has landed on an American highway. In August of 2020, Interstate 40 in rural North Carolina became a runway for a civilian aircraft that had to conduct an emergency landing after suffering engine problems. It appears that the A-10s at Michigan performed the exercise with the very same purpose, yet in different continents and regions, such as Asia and the Pacific. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe to our Dark Documentaries channels to find more exciting historical content. And let us know in the comments below what you think of these types of exercises conducted by the United States Armed Forces. Do you think the National Guard will ever have to make use of aircraft to solve internal problems?